It's time for the best coverage of high school football in the Valley. This is the Best Local Sports Show with sports anchor Blake Arthur and the News Channel 3 sports team.
The regular season is over. We're talking playoffs. They are here. 8 local teams making the dance, but how many of them would advance? Go big or go home. You know the drill. We got highlights, scores, and much more. And it all starts right now on the Best Local Sports Show.
You're watching high school football on News Channel 3.
All right, Rattlers, go! High school playoffs, go!
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching high school playoff football!
Welcome into the playoff edition of the Best Local Sports Show. I'm Sports Director Blake Arthur. We had 8 Desert teams earn a playoff bid. 7 of them played their respective first-round game on Friday night, 4 of which were at home here in the Valley. But this is the Best Local Sports Show for a reason. We go outside the Valley. That's where we start. Xavier Prep and Aquinas, the Saints, fresh off their league title, first in program history, trying to keep that momentum and move it into the playoffs. Xavier already lost to Aquinas earlier this year. Aquinas, traditionally a pretty good program there in San Bernardino, and truth be told, they were just the better football team in this one. A lot of talk coming in about the draws and the divisions. This was a tough draw for the Saints. I mean, they earned a share of the league title. They win the ship, and then they got to go on the road in the first round. Something about that just ain't right, but it is what it is. Unfortunate. Still a solid season for James Dockery's squad. Ryder Ruiz, Jarvis Crawford, Quentin Pelham, Christian Escobedo, Noah Scott, just some of their top guys who contributed to a great year for Xavier Prep, but it does end. The Saints season is done in the first round as Xavier falls 49-12 the final on the road at Aquinas. Unfortunate loss for Xavier, but congrats to their program for making history this season. Now, it was a bit bizarre how CIF determined home or away games for the playoffs. Our co-champs in the Desert Empire, Palm Desert, and the aforementioned Xavier Prep, both on the road to start the playoffs. Meanwhile, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th place squads in the DEL were all at home. Go figure. Shadow Hills finished 3rd in league, but will gladly take a home game in the first round. That's what they got. Knights hosting Culver City in Division 6. It's a home game, so you know one thing is for certain. The dungeon was dialed in. It was popping out there. Bailey Arredondo there to capture the footage. Culver City, they got some dudes, some legit players on both sides of the football. They were all over the Knights offense in this one. Shadow desperately needing to get points on the board to keep up with Culver City's offense. Trey Hollis hits his man Xavier Rodriguez, trying to get Shadow in rhythm and some momentum. Same drive, Hollis again. This time to Jesse Montez. Montez, a fun little back to watch. He's a little jitterbug. The Knights had bits and pieces driving down the field, just could not get across the goal line. Shadow settles for the field goal there, and that was really the story in this one. Culver City just too stout on defense and had more explosive plays on offense. 21-9 the final. The Knights only score 3 points in the second half. Great regular season for Shadow, winning 8 games and having a crack at a league championship, but their season comes to an end in the first round. All right, we are just getting started with the program. Coming up, more playoff action, including 5-time league champion Palm Desert. The Aztecs traveled to Temecula to take on Chaparral, plus Rancho Mirage and Palm Springs. They finished 4th and 5th respectively in league, but they were both at home in the first round. We got highlights of both straight ahead. You're watching the playoff edition of the Best Local Sports Show.
This is the law of the jungle, as old and as true as the sky. The wolf that shall keep it may prosper, the wolf that shall break it must die. As the creeper that girdles the tree trunk, the law runneth forward and back. For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. You are the wolf pack. Will you be the wolf pack tonight? Yes, sir. Will you defend your den tonight? Yes, sir. Are you going to let them come in here and take this from you tonight? No, sir. We are the wolf pack. Give me your wolf pack howl right now. Oh! 1, 2, 3. Let's go, baby. This is the law of the jungle, boys!
It's the law of the jungle. That was pretty fun being in the locker room before Palm Springs game. All right, welcome back to the Best Local Sports Show. We continue to look at our Desert Empire League teams in the playoffs. Remember, 5 of the 6 made it to the dance, and that included Palm Springs. You just saw them there, a team who finished 5th in league. And not only that, the Tribe finished 5th. They got a home game, and they were in Division 8. Indians hosting California, school out of Whittier. Palm Springs in their black tops, white helmets, white pants, taking on the California Condors. And, well, California came out and made a statement on the opening drive. They went right down the field and scored on the first possession, made it 6-0 Condors after they missed the PAT. There wasn't much offense in this game, at least for the time I was there, but Braden Hattner, I got to say, he was fun to watch. This kid competes, plays the right way, plays hard. Nice run there. And then the quarterback, Manny Libretti, in for the injured Javen Kapler. Libretti's probably tired of hearing about that, but Kapler's a dynamic special player, and Libretti says, hey, well, I can do that too. Big gain there for the first down, but the Indians would come away empty on the drive. And in the entire first half, it was 6-0 at the break. It just was that kind of game for the Indians, who couldn't get anything going as Palm Springs loses 13-7, ending their season in the first round. Rancho Mirage at home in Division 9. Rattlers taking on Ontario Christian. Lot on the line. High intensity. This is the playoffs. Everyone got to stay loose. Get some yoga in. Do your stretches. All right, here we go. But it's all about the details. This Rattler team, very well coached by LD Matthews, and they know how to compete. Didn't really matter what happened in the regular season. LD says, look, we got a chance. In the playoffs we're in, let's go out and compete. That's Ethan Zamora. Opens up the scoring with a 35-yard run, puts Rancho up, and then Zamora to his man, Zaire Rivas. Beautiful throw and catch as the Rattlers would keep it rolling. Another touchdown. They go up 14-0, and they would not look back from there. Damon Pine, former student athlete of the week, leading that defense as Rancho Mirage, they win it 35-28. They score 14 points in the fourth quarter to hang on for their first playoff win since 2017. Rattlers are going to be on the road next week in the second round. They will be at Ventura, so we'll do our best to have coverage of that, even though they will be to the west, a little bit north of Los Angeles. All right, 5-time reigning league champions, Palm Desert in Temecula, taking on Chaparral in Division 4. We couldn't get a camera out of town to get one there, but thank goodness for technology. Some phone videos sent in. It's better than nothing, right? And speaking of nothing, that's how many points Palm Desert would get in this one. Aztecs didn't have their best game. They get shut out on the road 23-0 the final. The reigning 5-time league champs have their season end in the first round of the division. But like I said with Xavier Prep, Palm Desert wins the league, at least a share of the league title, and they have to go on the road in the first round, play a really good team in a really high division in Division 4, so that's a tough ask for really any team. The Aztecs kind of unlucky in their draw and their opponent, but it is what it is. You got to win in advance or you lose and you go home. We still have more football on the show, including a trip up to the high desert to see 29 Palms. They got a win on Friday night. They joined Rancho Mirage as the 2 local teams to win. We're going to show you how the Wildcats did it. Plus, you don't want to miss this. Not our plays of the week, our plays of the year. How about that? We're talking the best of the best for the entire high school football season. See which ones are nominated. Oof, we had some good ones this year. It's fun to look back, getting nostalgic just watching this tease video. You know what it is. It's playoff edition of high school football on the Best Local Sports Show. Welcome back to the Best Local Sports Show, the playoff edition, first round action. 29 Palms, you just saw their cheerleaders there. They finished second in league play in the Desert Valley League. 5-1-1 was their record. Now, truthfully, they should have tied Coachella Valley for the title, but the Wildcats had to take a tie against Desert Mirage due to COVID. It is what it is. And look, this is a team, a Wildcats team, 29 Palms, who could make a deep run in the playoffs. They got a really good program. Nice roster they are building up there. 29 Palms at home against A.B. Miller in Division 11. Wildcats in the gray unis, black Bottoms, kind of dig those. And truthfully, this was the Aiden Sullivan show. Woo! How about that run there? Leaps to defender, scores the touchdown. He wasn't done there. I mean, this guy is a man amongst boys. Coach Ush tells me Sullivan just runs angry. Every time he touches the rock, says he's just a angry, mean kid that you don't want to be in his way and have to tackle him for 4 quarters. A.B. Miller said, look, we're not even going to try to tackle him. He's just going to score all over us, and that's what he did. 29 Palms, by the way, a local powerhouse program for a little while. I think they're trending back in that direction. Head coach T.J. Stanford has his kids playing really good football right now. This was all 29 all the time. Congrats to the Wildcats on the win as they advance to the 2nd round in their respective division. Hopefully they have a home game so we can get the coverage for you next week, but we will see what happens with 29 Palms. Just one of 2 teams to win on Friday night. If we could listen in on what Coach is going to say here, guys, just let this video breathe for a little bit.
1, 2, 3. Thank you, fans. Hey. That's one. Okay. Now we roll. You got me? Let's go. We roll. Hey. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, congratulations to 29 Palms. Now looking at Division 10, we did the best we could to get the highlights of every game, but physically, it's just not possible. I mean, I'm kind of amazed at how we do what we already do. But I'm going to stop before I get in trouble. Arabs fall on the road, 56-20 the final. Desert Valley League champs have their season come to a close. Meanwhile, Cathedral City plays Saturday in Anaheim at Catella. The Lions are looking to join Rancho Mirage and 29 Palms as the only local teams to advance in the 2nd round. All right, going to bring in Bailey Arredondo now to the program. Bailey, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. It's Friday night, so you know where business is handled.
That's right. Now, usually we finish the show with our plays of the week, but we're kind of changing things up this year. And instead of just looking at this week, we're going to rewind the tape, look at all the plays of the week, and call it our plays of the year.
Well, I think we had a plethora of plays this year, so it's only right that we narrow it down to a light 11 to 12 maybe. And these plays were something, a sight to see.
We had some good ones this year.
Really good ones. I don't know if it was a welcoming Bailey to the Valley, welcoming to playoff football, high school football, but we had a lot of plays on offense and on defense. This was one of my favorites. How'd Jesse Montez get out of that one? Wow.
We had 6 last week, and Montez won that one with that spin-out play. Nice touchdown there. CV catch here in those pink uniforms.
But I think we touched all the bases. We got run, catch. Speaking of catch, little bit of you got mossed action. We've had some defense, some sacks, and obviously this guy was all over our show every week.
Crawford, man, he's special. This to me personally, I'm a little biased, but this was my favorite play of the year. That juke there, that was a heck of a play.
Yeah, we know you're an XP guy, but how can you not be? Crawford, the Saints are going to miss him next year.
That they are. Now, you can vote online at our website. And by the way, Bailey, the winner of our Play of the Year is going to get a $100 certificate to Mai Tai. So, courtesy of Mai Tai, thank you for that. Get on the web. Go vote for which one you think should be named our Play of the Year. And
you said 100?
$100 to Mai Tai. It's good food.
Okay.
Get out there.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, and it was a great show. That's going to do it for the Best Local Sports Show this season. The big show, anyways, we'll have much more for you next week. Bailey, thank you so much. We'll see you next week.